Hey everyone, Soundwave84 here with a Transformers Legends review. Today we'll be looking at LG-25 Blurr. This is the Takara Tomy release. Yeah, and he comes in a nice little box here, which is sort of like what the Studio series is coming in. Yeah, it says Transformer Legends here, and a lot of Japanese writing. Vehicle to Robot, LG-25 Blurr. Spot here for his Headmaster, and they actually call it Headmaster instead of Titan Master. And tells you more. It shows the figure on this side. This side shows you more of the same artwork. And you get the back, which shows, yes, more stuff. Top. And he comes with this little nifty instruction booklet, which has a full color art on the front, which is very, very pretty. It'd be nice if they came with like little mini posters. That'd be kind of cool. And this is like his bio card. It tells you all his stats here. Open it up, and you get a little comic. And you open up some more, and you get the instructions. So yes, very nice indeed. And of course, you get the figure of Blurr. And he's got his Headmaster or Titan Master, whatever you want to call it, sitting in the pit there. But yeah. So you get the Blurr, and he also comes with this gun. Take more look at the Blurr here. I think this figure is beautiful. I never did buy the Titans Returns Hasbro version. The colors just didn't do it for me, and I was always going to buy this version. And it's taken me this long to be able to get a hold of this guy. So yeah, there's the undercarriage if you want to look at that. Overall, the colors on this is fantastic. The paint on this guy, what little bit there is fantastic. Everything is nice. The only kind of paint area I do have on this figure is on the seat here, where it kind of goes over a little bit more so than the other side, but it's not even that noticeable at all. But everything else about this figure is lovely. He is a gorgeous representation of animated Blurr, from the G1 Blurr from the cartoon. It looks beautiful, and that's why I couldn't wait to get this version over the other version from Hasbro, deep blues. I just don't like it. Yeah. All around, this figure is nice, nicely sculpted, nicely detailed. We'll put him down, and we'll show his mold mate, which Hasbro retooled into Brainstorm, who was a Walgreens exclusive. And head on, you say, hey, they look totally different. No, there's only a few parts that are actually new on Brainstorm. Everything else is exactly Blurr. The front cockpit piece here, front of the nose cone, whatever you call it, that pops off is new. The part here on the front that folds under his forearms is new. And also the upper arms and the shoulder area where this will form his wings here is new. And they have different tail fin things that pop up. Everything else is exactly the same. Everything else. Down to the guns, to the Titan / Headmaster, the same. Just paint different. We'll get more on that. You turn sideways, you can see a little bit of that. And you turn all the way around, and that's where it's most noticeable. And then the inner side. I'm not complaining. I really care. I think we still got two excellent figures out of this mold with just a few subtle changes, and I think it's nice. I mean, if you can reuse it to make another figure, it's fine by me. As long as when I first glance at it, I don't really notice it as much. Yeah, I think it's all good. Now we'll get this guy. I guess I can just say Blurr into robot mode. First thing I'm gonna do is just lift this piece up here and take out his Headmaster. We'll go ahead and take a look at real quick. Focus in there. You get focused. And it's very nice, and it is exactly the same as the Headmaster that is with Brainstorm. Just different paint. And of course, they slapped on a different head in the back. So, right, I'll put him to the side. We'll pick this up, and we'll get the transforming this guy here. First thing I'm gonna do is pop out his arms from here. You go ahead and just hinge them all the way out. Go ahead and take this nose cone bit, go ahead and untab it. I'm going to fold it back some. Come down here to his legs. I'm going to open them up from the bottom. Let's just combine our style and drop them. Of course, that's what I'm going to do. Oh my god, when you start doing that, it sort of untabs the legs from each other. If not, you can go ahead and try to untab them. And then you just want to unfold his legs. Down and out, like so. Turn it around. And just want to go ahead and take this piece here and just fold inside. And just close his legs back up. And this right here is his feet. And you just fold them down. And his legs are now done. Now get to work here. This is the seat part that his Headmaster is leaning up against. Just fold that in. You can see it forms his, well, it reveals his Autobot insignia for robot mode, and just collapse this all the way in. Raise my camera just a tad. Now we take this part here and just go ahead and fold it all the way into his back, and this wheel here will just go into this hole. So there we go. And just hinge this. There's a tab on the hinge that will go into a little slot inside, and just seal his arms all the way up until it snaps. Bring his arms down and around. You can see there's his hand. Take this piece that juts out. You want to untap it. It is tapped inside his hand. And you just want to bring it all the way back. It's like a double hinge. And just do the same with the other arm. And there is Blurr in robot mode. The only thing left to do now is to put his Headmaster on. And we know how to transform this guy. You just fold them up. Also, this piece here, it will be down. And you just grab it like Scourge and just raise it up. And then you just tab his head into his body. And we take his gun, which I'll go ahead and show off, is exactly the same as the one in Brainstorm comes with. It's just painted differently. And we'll just put it in a hand, pick a hand, any hand. I'm right-handed, so I'll always go over to the right. And there you go. Transformer Legends Blurr. Like I say, he's the exact same thing as the Titans Returns Blurr. He's just painted differently. And the paint makes a difference, in my opinion. It makes the figure, I don't know, he just pops. This looks better. But he has all the bells and whistles you come to expect in a figure that's from Hasbro or Hashtag. He does have a waist swivel. Mine is awfully tight. He does have a wrist swivel, which is unusual in most figures nowadays. And of course, every other movement you can get out of these figures. We all know where they are. Take a look at his head, face sculpt. It's probably the least part. It's part of the figure I like the least. I don't know why. It just bugs me slightly. I'm not sure what about it. I mean, it is very close to the G1 animation model and everything. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Not sure. Otherwise, everything else about the figure I really do like. There's not really any problems on my copy. Everything looks very, very good. And I'll show him off with Brainstorm in robot mode. And there is with Brainstorm. And in robot mode, you can see even more of the similarities. I know they do coloring differences to really make it, stand out. They are different characters, but you can notice it's all the same sculpting details inside the legs, inside the waist, the crotch, knocking them down. God, the forms are exactly the same, everything. But like I said, I'm not complaining. I'm just pointing it out. Differences is the upper arm up here. Of course, the head sculpt, and the pieces that fold underneath, and then the nose cones on the figure. I don't know, just glancing at them, you see similarities right off the bat with the chest pieces, but it kind of in the lower legs. But I think they're different enough to where you look at them at first glance, you're gonna think it's two different molds. My overall thoughts on this Blurr is he's highly recommended if you get a hold of him. A lot of places are sold out, and eBay is, they're gonna rip you off for this guy. I've seen them asking anywhere from $60 to $100, and while he is a nice figure and a good rendition of Blurr, I don't think it's worth that kind of money. I did get this one on ages3andup.com, and he was still the $39.95. So if they still have any in stock, that's the place to go for right now. Anyway, like I say, he's highly recommended for Blurr. Good figure. Thanks for watching. Until the next one.